YouTube. I know this is soon after my last one, but I am doing another deck profile. This time on my rocks. I call this deck Slothful Force because it's mostly out defense and your opponent damaging themselves, so you sit back. I'm also trying with my phone having the light on. This is Amon again. My tag for comments. I reply on the comments. Let's start off. This is very classic style. So we got Exxodd. Exxodd is also known as the last incarnation of Exodia. His defense is 4,000, which is the same as if you take all the pieces of Exodia, add their attack and defense together, you get 4,000, which is his defense. And he can only be summoned by attributing a Sphinx monster. And if an Earth attribute monster is flip summoned, your opponent takes 1,000. Next we have 2 Heracles Sphinx. Heracles Sphinx makes it so your opponent cannot attack your face downs. 2,400 attack. I use it because it's got attack power to it. Plus it takes 1 tribute, so you summon him, get out Exxodd if you want, or you can have him out with Exxodd protecting your face down so you can keep on flipping. Then we have Guardian Sphinx. Guardian Sphinx is also 1 tribute, but if he's flip summoned, your opponent's monsters are then returned to their hand. Plus he has 2,400 defense, which would be the opposite of Heracles Sphinx's defense. Plus, plus once per turn you can make him go back face down, so you can use him multiple times. Next we have Medusa Worm. It can flip itself face down when it's flip summoned. It works like Man-Eater Bug, so it destroys monsters. Great card for getting rid of monsters slowly. Next we have Lost Guardian. I run him because of Mega Rock Dragon. His defense is equal to the number of removed from play rock types times 700. So you have him face down, your opponent attacks, they hit into a high defense monster if you've summoned Mega Rock out once before. Next, this is thanks to the pack Return of the Duelist, featuring this. Return of the Duelist. Return of the Duelist have a bunch of Earth support, and it released new rock monsters, which would be like Revival Golem. If Revival Golem is sent directly from your deck to your grave, you get to special summon him, or you get to add it from your graveyard to the hand. Most people would special summon him. Great XT's fodder for rank 4s. Next we have 2 Sandmans. Tribute to negate traps, reveal a rock to save them. Quackimaru Guardians, we have 2 of them. He does the same as Sandman, but it's for monster effects instead of traps. Again, reveal a rock to save it. Grenmarg destroys face downs. I would normally use this with Book of Moon. Say your opponent has a strong monster, Book of Moon, summon, destroy a face down. Golem Sentry. When he's flip summoned, he gets to you get to return a monster on your opponent's side of the field back to their hand. Next, we have Block Golem. When all your monsters in your grave are Earth attributed, you can tribute him to special summon 2 of them. Well, for lower rock types, they can't use their effects the turn though. Gigantes, banish Earth attribute special summon. If he's destroyed, you get to destroy your opponent's monsters. Or is it spells and traps? Oh, it's destroy all spells and traps. Next we have Maharagi. It's a spirit. When it's flip face up or if it's normal summoned, 1, it will return to your hand at the end phase if it survives the turn. And 2, during your next turn, when you go to draw, you can look at your top card and put it on the top or bottom of your deck instead of just drawing. So it's great for trying to set up combos. Then we have finally Mega Rock Dragon. You banish all rock types in your grave to summon him. His attack is 700 times the number of rocks banished by this effect. Great attack powered monster. As I said, use it for getting Lost Guardian up to a high defense. As monsters. Next we have spells. We have Canyon. Standard spell card for this kind of rock deck because it doubles any damage your opponent takes from attacking a face down defense position. And Capital Zones as more field spell power. When your opponent attacks a monster, you can save it by sending a rock to the grave. So you can send a Revival Golem and bring it out. Also, Return of the Duelist releases. With a high defense deck, you have to have Shield and Sword, weakening your opponent's monsters, and then powering up your own because it switches the attack and the defense around. And any increases to defense or attack are applied to the new ones. Book of Moon, because this deck is all about face downs. Plus it helps save your own monsters. And we got standard staple, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm. And because I like the defensive power of it, Shallow Grave. Only downside is it does give your opponent a free monster, but it comes out in face down defense. So if I use it on Guardian Sphinx on my turn, I can eventually use it. Now we have traps. I run 3 rock bombardments. Send a rock to your grave, deal 500 damage. So Revival Golems will be used on that. 2 Dark Bribes. Dark Bribe negates spells and traps, gives your opponent a draw. Fear. Because it doesn't cost any life points, it comes in handy. As I said in my last one, Mirror Force, I run 2 ever since it's been semi-limited. And it's come in handy quite a bit. Next we have Boundless Shifting Sand. This card, during your opponent's end phase, the monster with the highest attack on the field is destroyed and has to be face up. So, because my deck is all about face down defense position, this card comes in handy. And if I have 4 or more cards in my hand during my standby phase, if I have 4 or less, if I have less than 4 cards in my hand during my standby phase, this card goes to the grave. Thus, coming handy, activate during your opponent's turn, they bring out something big and it gets destroyed at the end. Ceasefire, because this deck is nothing but effect monsters, this comes in handy. It flips all face downs face up and your opponent takes 500 for each effect monster. Then we have the Labyrinth of Nightmare. I use this because if I use Shield and Sword and I don't switch my monsters to defense, or I can't switch them to defense, this will switch them all to defense for me, and your opponent's monsters will be switched to defense every time they end their turn. And then Needle Ceiling, because it destroys all face-up monsters on the field if there's 4 or more on the field. Since my deck is all about face downs, they survive. And now we have an extra deck of Lavier. Love it. Comes in handy. Leviathan Dragon. Number 16 Shockmaster. Because I can bring out a little force quickly, this comes in handy. Number 10 Illuminite. Again, little force, quick draw. Shark Drake. Powerhouse. Brings back monsters for a second attack. Gemini Pearl, rock type, level 4, Photon Papilloperative. Say you use Book of Moon on your opponent's card, flip it face up, loses attack power. And then Utopia, can't have level 4s without him. And that is my deck. It is very good. It's a, as I said, it's a rock deck based off of the classic Exxodd build. I got time to show off some gold. It's my favorite card. But yeah, that's it. Please comment, subscribe, And if you have any ideas for the deck, please feel free to let me know.